Okay, I shared this on Facebook and had several comments from women of all ages about it. So I thought I would. Been rearranging the house and it's kind of a mess. Okay, so maybe you overthink too much because I printed this out and I'm reading it. So forgive me because I'm trying to do more than one thing at a time and I'm not good at that. So the first point was you didn't grow up in a safe environment. And I'm really sorry about that. I had people commenting that I assumed grew up in a very safe environment. Honestly, these are people who, as far as I know, grew up in Christian homes. But you know what? Other people have made that assumption about me as well. Let's just turn that around. Other people have definitely made that assumption about me as well. So, just because somebody looks like they grew up, according to you, looks like they grew up in a safe environment or a Christian home, does not mean it's the case. I don't make assumptions about people. I was not raised in a Christian home at all by any stretch. And no, it wasn't safe most of the time. There was very little about any of the homes that I lived in that was safe. So, there were a few, and I lived in several homes growing up. So, there were a few that probably were more safe than others. But, I lived in one home for a few months. I don't even remember their names. I don't even remember their names. They weren't related. I know the man made a big impression on me because I hated history. And he gave me this whole lecture nicely about the importance of history. And it keeps coming back to me, because, today, if you don't understand the importance of history, and I've grown to love it in adulthood, so I appreciate him for that, but I can't for the life of me remember his name to tell you who it was that I should be thanking. Anyway, the second thing, you took on adult duties way too early in life. Well, number one, I don't know that it's ever too early to take on quote-unquote adult duties. What are we talking adult duties? Children are so resilient. So I don't know. It's not too early for a child to do laundry or dishes, to learn how to do that stuff. It's not too early for them to learn how the bills are paid. We had one point where we were both on bed rest. I was on bed rest because of a pregnancy. He was basically on bed rest because of a hernia surgery. And he had to be packed. His belly, from the surgery, had to be packed. And our, at that time, 15-year-old had to do it because she was the only one to do it. Was it too early in life for her to take on that duty? She is an amazing young woman today. So, I have to kind of argue with that. We still need time to be children, and even I got that a little bit, but whatever you had to take on, whatever you had to do, just take that as a divine intervention to teach you life skills and things that he knew you needed to know. Because I knew a lot of the young ladies that I graduated with didn't know how to cook when we graduated, or keep house, or budget, and a lot of things. And I did. So that was something I didn't have to learn. And I'm grateful for that. So, turn that hardship into gratitude. Turn that hard, and it took me a few years to do that because I hated doing dishes, because I did everybody's dishes at all of the houses I lived in. I was the dishwasher. And I hated it. But now I don't mind it so much. It takes a while to grow into that. You get hurt, or let's say you get hurt no matter how hard you try. Yeah, that darned if you do, darned if you don't type of thing. That's frustrating whenever you can't do anything right for anyone. You were judged harshly for making mistakes. Oh yeah. Let's talk either beat to a pulp or screamed at for an hour, right? You had to figure out everything on your own because they just expected you to know. And, well, why don't you have any common sense? And you're just too lazy, or, what was it that they threw at you? And then you were made to feel that you weren't good enough. Yeah, okay. And one of the things that we do, and this must have been on another one, is people who have gone through stuff like this tend to apologize all the time, right? Especially women. We say, I'm sorry for everything, right? Stop. That is number one thing, because somebody asked, how do I get over it, right? I'm like, first of all, realize that this is your superpower, because you know how to, ingenuity, you've got resilience, you know how to do things, you know how to learn to do things on your own, you've got independence that other people don't have, because they're so used to people either doing things for them or telling them how to do things all the time. And you don't need that. So this is a superpower, so learn how to rely on the Lord, how to ask for help when you do need it, because we tend to not to, and then stop apologizing. Unless you really have something to apologize for. And then think about it before you do. When you make an apology, make a heartfelt apology, not just an I'm sorry, off the cuff. Stop the off the cuff I'm sorries. Stop it. And realize that this is your superpower, that God puts you in a difficult situation. You may have even chosen this difficult situation. Because, some people think maybe they chose their parents. Some children say that, I chose you, So, this is your superpower. You are special. You overthink things. That means you are analyzing possibilities and stuff that other people don't even consider. They just ramrod through life, right? They're just blah, and they're oblivious to what's going on around them. Sometimes there's only so much you can do with it. So you're not one of those. You aren't one of those. You're more thoughtful. You can think through these things, and no, you may not get any credit for it, like, ever. Okay? And that's okay, because God knows. He knows what you've been through. He knows what you're going through. He knows what's happening. He knows. So, thank you. Stop apologizing and own it as your superpower. I have the ability to overthink things and be ahead of the game. Okay? Use it to prep. Use it to be resilient. Use it to teach others. Use it to help others who have gone through or are going through similar hardships. Okay? It's going to be okay. I love ya.